Okay, welcome to another episode of Conversation with Dr. De Silva. It's been about a year now that we've been doing this, and I want to thank you for the viewership that you've had and the support that you guys have been giving us. We've brought a lot of different guests here, and Conversation with Dr. De Silva, what is it? It's a TV show where your voice matters. And the whole idea is giving you, if you do not have 15 minutes of fame, but 30 minutes or maybe even an hour of fame, what would be the message that you would want to share with the world? Or what are you passionate about that you want to discuss? Now, there's an African proverb that most of you probably know and familiar with, which says it takes a village to raise a child. John F. Kennedy also said, ask not what your country could do for you, but what you could do for your country. I say, let's take one step further and ask what your community can do for each other. We have various different guests that come to the show, and these are guests that are your local neighbors. They're doing some pretty amazing things in the community. And this gives you an opportunity to be aware of some of the things that they're doing. And today we have a guest that you've seen a few times here on this show already. Is Haim. Welcome, Haim, to the show.
Welcome, Cello. Thank you for having me again and again. I like the show.
Welcome. Haim, what are we talking about today? What's our topic today?
I want to talk about the law of attraction, which is it's come more and more people aware of all kind of universal law that exist from beginning of time. Yeah, and the law of attraction is one of them. And when you're aware of that, so you can use it for your benefit. When you're not aware of that, he's working, but you don't benefit from that.
Right.
So you're not. If there is something for you, you're kind of missing out.
So tell me a little bit more about the laws of attraction. I know people have heard of it. There's many books being written about it and so on. But if you could give us a brief synopsis of what laws of attraction is all about.
I will start, but we become aware of the law of attraction since the movie The Secret. The movie The Secret came along, and people watch the movie and watch it again and again. And it was kind of documentary and what people can do with themselves, which they was not exposed to. Right. Now they learn there is law of attraction, which is you basically switch your mind to think about something that will happen in your life, and it will happen. What they're missing out is the action part that attach into that. I mean, when I hear about that, after a while I realize that that's no one word, it's two words.
Okay.
I take the word attraction and I cut it in the middle, which is attract action.
Interesting. Okay.
When you attract action, which is this is the creative side. When you create anything, you got result. When you got result, is which ways go. How now you need to use your mind to have the benefit from what you're thinking, which is we know for a fact that everything in the universe created twice. The first time it's in your mind, and the second time in a physical reality.
Right. Yeah, we've talked about this in one of the other previous shows. Yes.
So this is the law of attraction. Basically, if you can take what you have in your mind, move it short distance from your mind to your hand. Yeah, which is your hand. This is the walking part.
Okay.
Yeah. Now you create. Now you come with something. That something happened. And that can change life of yours and many, many other. But there's no one law law of attraction, and that's about that. There is many law that attach into that. And to the way I see it, there is two law that before that. Before the law of attraction.
And what are they?
Which is the law of vibration. Everything is vibrate. Vibrate is energy. Yeah. And energy, I mean, we have energy in everything. We have energy in wood. We have energy in all what you have in the universe. They have energy. It's how you use that, right? Now, energy in the human body, it's emotion. Yeah, and when you take the emotion, it's also I break it into two. Is energy in motion. Now, energy in motion is you can keep it high. This is the feeling that you have. This is the energy. You can keep it high, and when you keep it high, you're capable of doing a lot of things. Or you can keep it low, and basically you go to sleep. You're tired.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is the first law that's working 24/7, 365.
Right.
The second law is cause and effect. Whatever is that you do, there is effect. There is a cause, which is when you're doing something. There is the effect, the result. Yeah, and we all the time doing something, and we all the time getting result.
Right.
Now, even if you don't do anything, it's still activity that don't get you result. You're not going anywhere because you don't have anything to measure. Now came the law of attraction. When you know you have energy, yeah, which is your emotion, your feeling, what is that you have in your hand that you want to take from here to here? Yeah, make it happen. Yeah. Now you're doing something, you have result. What is that you want to create? What is that you want to bring to the world? What is that you want to bring from from your mind to reality that people can enjoy and benefit from that? Now, if we go back in time, this table wasn't exist until someone thinking about that in his head. You have some energy that's going on. Hey, if we have table, we can use it for many things.
Right.
So he started to build it. This is the cause. This is the effect. We have table. Yeah? And this is the law of attraction. This is what I want to create. I want to create table.
Okay, so tell me, for those people that apply this and are aware of these laws, as opposed to somebody who's not aware of these laws, and how they pretty much go on every single day of their lives, the ones that are aware of it and the ones that are not aware of it. How does it affect their relationships that they have with family members, with coworkers, with lovers? Tell me what you see as far as the difference between those two types of people.
Well, when we communicate with people, what we want to do, we want to establish relationship.
Okay.
Yeah. To establish relationship, that's we can create something as a community, which is mean we need whatever is that you do in life, you need people to be participate in that. Yeah. So here is the law of attraction. You want to attract people into your life. Yeah. So law of attraction working all the time. Now, when you're aware of that, you take the benefit. You enjoy it. You know how to do it, and you know how to create. When you don't know it, you not benefit from that. It's not going. Some people are going to say it's going to harm you. I say it's not going to harm you because you don't know. What you don't know is not affecting you in that case.
Right.
Yeah. But when you know, it's better. It's better off because now you know how to steer your life to where you want to go.
Right.
What you want to create. So we're looking to create relationship with people because we want to build something. Yeah. Now you lose the law of attraction, which is mean, what kind of people I want to attract to my life? People that uplifting, people that contribute, people that have high value. So I search for it. Yeah. And when I bring those people to my life, I know that the law of attraction is going to bring them because that's what I'm looking for. So I'm going to be on searching. It's attract action. It's the action that you engage into to bring this kind of people to your life, to be creative, to explore.
Now, I do know that some people say, oh, I want to bring people that are going to bring positivity to my life, or it's going to enhance my life, it's going to fulfill my life. That's going to benefit me in so many ways. So I know people that say that, but then they ask, Cello. That's my nickname. They asked, but I keep bringing people in my life that are bringing me down and bringing me negativity and so on. So explain that. A person wants those positive people to come into their lives, but they keep habitually bringing people in their lives that are negative, people that put them down, people that take away their energy. Explain that to me.
Well, that's going a different area, which is your attitude. Yeah. Now, your attitude, it's built from three things: the way you feel, the way you think, the way you act.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. When those three things it's aligned, so your attitude is good. When you feel good, and you act according to what you feel,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and that's what you're thinking about. I mean, you align. So whatever is that you do, it's one thing. It's going in one direction. What happens is when one of them is not in place, which is mean what you feel and what you think is two different things. So now it starts to come sideways, and people feel it, people hear it, people sense it, and they say, I don't know if I want to be in your company. I don't know if I want to be in your circle, because the message that I get is not clear.
Okay.
Or this is something that I don't want to have in my life. Yeah? So people stay away. Now you talk about positive, and I said there is no positive, there is no negative. Yeah, there is something that we kind of hold that, but actually does not exist.
Explain.
Let's build scenario. You say I'm a positive person, and I all the time positive. I stay away from negative. I don't want negative people in my life. I don't want any negative situation in my life. How you do that? You're all the time searching how to stay out from negative.
Okay.
What do you see in your mind all the time? You see only negative.
Okay.
Because let's say you walk into the room, yeah, full of people, and most of them you know. I said, oh, this guy, I don't wanna be next to him. I know he's such and such.
Mm-hmm.
Now you look for the other corner of the room. Oh, that girl, she all the time talking. I want to stay away from that. And you look at the other corner, and it's a group of people that you all the time stay away. You don't want to be engaged with them. What do you see so far? What to stay away from?
Right.
Yeah? So that's what fills your mind all day long.
Okay.
When you start to look what you're looking for, when you search for what you're looking for, you will find it.
So you're saying if that person walked in with the attitude, I'm looking to establish relationships that are going to fulfill me, that's going to bring me happiness, it's going to make me grow with that person. If I walk in with that attitude and with that mindset, you're saying that's what I'm going to find. Is that what you're saying? Or because you're saying the example you just gave me was that person that said, oh, that person, I want to stay away from that person who talks too much, that person, that group over there. So your mindset is negative. So if your mindset is negative, you're going to be attracting, quote unquote, negative vibrations or negative energy towards you. Is that what you're saying?
Yes. When you come ahead of time and you realize, I don't like those people, but there is no other people to hang out with, so I'll stay with them. But you already came with feeling that's not good.
Okay.
Yeah, which is kind of not positive feeling.
Right.
It's kind of negative feeling. So your attitude already affect that. So you either going to be cynical or you're going to be aggressive in some way, because you're not going to participate in what's going on. Yeah? So they consider you as a negative person.
Right.
It's not negative. You're looking to stay away. Now, the way I see it in life, which is, I divide people in two ways, which is mean people that stay away and people that's going toward. Now, most of the people, majority of people are stay away from. Yeah, and I will go later. What does that happen? Now, when you stay away from, three things happen. You complain all the time, you look for someone to blame, and you have excuses on everything. Yeah?
Repeat that again. You have excuses for everything.
You complain, you look for someone to blame.
You look for someone to blame.
And you have excuses most of the time. Now, when you go toward, yeah, your mind operates different, which is mean you look, how I get there, what I have to do, who I need to talk to, what road I need to take. Mm-hmm. That's what keeps you busy all the time. So it's not negative or positive. It's either you stay away from or you go in toward what you look to create.
Okay, so I guess it's just a label then.
Right. So we like to, I'm a positive person, I'm all positive thinking. It's not, because your day it's filled with all kind of events, yeah, that you don't feel good about. Yeah. So now the way you're thinking, I don't want any other to see that, or I'm not going to come strongly against that when I'm with people. So you see, what you feel and what you think is two different things.
Right.
It's not the same. Your attitude is going to come sideways. The way you act, one time you lean toward that way, sometimes you lean toward that way. Mm-hmm. Yeah? So you kind of flip-flop.
Okay. So one thing to be noted here, to at least to be acknowledged, is that for those people out there that always so concerned about keeping negative people away from their lives, you know, just using that terminology because people could relate to that. But for them to realize that when they're putting a lot of energy to stay away from those people, right? They're not moving towards them. They're staying away from them. Mm-hmm. It's again because they're complaining. It's because they're blaming, and with the third one, I always forget the third.
Excuses.
And they're making excuses. That's interesting, and I feel that that's interesting because I always remember the, as far as the blaming aspect, you know, the thing that people say is like when you're pointing your finger at somebody, there's three other fingers pointing back at you.
Right.
You know, so it makes people realize that, like, you know, it's not quote unquote them that's the problem. It's me that perhaps is a problem, and I got to look into that. It's my choices of what you're saying is I could choose to be moving towards something where I'm making something happen, as opposed to staying away and spending all that time and effort and energy, which is not creating anything productive. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha.
I mean, let's think about it. I say I'm going to get back to it. When it starts when you as a kid, yeah, you want to do something because you want to get experience, whatever it is, yeah. Someone hold you, usually is your sibling or your parent, yeah. They don't let you to do it because they say you're too young, you don't have experience, you don't know how does that work, and let me do it for you. In the meantime, stay away from that. Yeah, don't go there, don't do that. That's what we hear all the time, all those stop signs.
Right.
Yeah. Along the way, when something repeats itself, year after year after year after year, it's become habit. When it's become habit, you as a grown-up, you expert on stay away from another thing.
Right.
Because first time, you don't have experience. If you don't have experience, you don't want to be bullied, you don't want to be laughed at, you don't want to be in the center of attention, so you stay away. You're not participate, you're not coming forward. You're not going to take something that going to show what you can.
Right.
So you hear people all the time say, I can't. Who said that you can't? Only you. Nobody else say it. You never even try to do it. But you already limit yourself. So every time you hear a person say, I can't, there is kind of limitation that he put on himself. Not to do. Yeah? For whatever reason is that. But that's what hold people.
Right.
And we call them, they are negative because they don't want to participate.
Right.
They don't want to participate because they have no experience. That's what the law of attraction came. Yeah, and many, many people go into that. Wait a minute, maybe there is another way that I can achieve what I want without working hard. So they're watching The Secret, and The Secret said that you focus your energy in your mind on something that you want, and it will happen. I agree with that. But the action part has to be there also.
Right.
If the action part is not there, yeah, it's not going to happen. And it's attached into your attitude, because it's the way you feel, the way you think, and the way you act. If those three things, the attitude, is not in the same alignment, it's not going to happen. If you have shred of doubt, it's not going to happen. And that's what people use law of attraction to fill some void that they have in their life. It doesn't work that way.
Say that again.
People use the law of attraction. They say, I'm going to go home, I'm going to close my eyes, I'm going to meditate, I'm going to focus about the Ferrari I want to have, I want to own, and the Ferrari is going to come to the driveway. Or my bank account all of a sudden have few zero in the end of that. Yeah? It's not going to happen without work. It's not going to happen without other people participate. Which is mean you need to take the initiative, you need to take the action, yeah, and do something, create something, build relationship, yeah, see what kind of people you want to attract to your life, to create community, society, country. You need people all the time. So everything it's blind in there. It's not one thing that's solve everything. No, it's not.
Now let me ask something else. I think which is a major part of laws of attraction, because a friend of mine, couple, did a workshop on laws of attraction, and this was many, many years ago, and mentioned the part that, like, when you show gratitude, the universe responds in kind. So if the more you and the wife afterwards created a page, a grateful page on Facebook, and she encouraged people to write 2 things a day that he or she was grateful for. And the whole theory of it is the more you are grateful for things and don't take it for granted, the more the universe responds in kind. So the more, because when you're being grateful, you're coming from a place where you're showing gratefulness for something that you have, and it brings a good feeling. It increases your energy and puts you in a place of not complaining, but to be happy for something that you do have. And they were saying, this couple was saying, the more you do that, the more you will attract those other things into your life as well, that shows more gratefulness than otherwise. So not to take things for granted. What are your thoughts about that?
I agree with that. I agree what you said, but there is inside job that everybody said need to want to do with himself, which is mean everything that you do, there is string attached into that.
Okay.
Those strings go to where? And now the string, where they go, that's determine why you do what you do. Yeah. If the string go because I want to show people, so you want to show people why. What is that important to you? If you want to do it because this is me, that's what I do. I don't waiting for acknowledge or benefit or anything else. You see where the string go?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So many people, they have string attached into something that they benefit. It's not pure. When it's pure, yes, the universe is going to respond back to you.
Okay.
Because it's pure. But when the string take it for other places that we're hiding, we don't talk about that, where they go, we're not going to get what we want.
So you're saying like kind of a hidden agenda.
Exactly. There's the string.
Right.
Where they go, to what place they
Right.
start.
Right.
The people want to have recognition. There is people, they want to have some other agenda that behind that.
But isn't that a universal need to be acknowledged and to have recognition?
I will tell you that. When you need something, you become a needy person.
Okay.
When you needy person, it's fear that behind that.
Explain.
Something behind that need. If I don't have that, something else will happen that I don't want to see.
I see.
I don't want to have. When it's come from, when you want it, that's come from choice that you make. That's freedom behind that. Because when you have a choice, it's a freedom. I choose either go left or either go right. I choose to do that because that's what I want to do. I choose to do that because the benefit what's come along with that. You see, this is when you want something, it's come from freedom. It's not from fear.
Interesting. Okay.
So this is language also. It's got effect
Right.
in here.
Okay. Yeah, because I one thing that I noticed, because I've been on part of this page, Grateful page, for quite a long time, and it's interesting because it's like the saying, you know, how to get to Carnegie Hall: practice, practice, practice.
Right.
And the first few things that I would write, because I couldn't come up with anything, I'd be like, oh, okay, I'm grateful for my two legs. I'm grateful for my two hands, my two arms, my two eyes, and everything else. And then as years went by, I began to realize other things that I was grateful for that I took for granted, no matter how small it was, that brought me joy. For example, about a few months ago, I was at the Port Washington Library, and there was this gentleman next to me, and he had his headphones on, and he was watching something on the computer, and he was laughing, and but he realized it was a library, a public library, so he tried to restrict himself from laughing too loud to not to bother anybody else. And I kind of snuck a peek to find out what he was watching, and he was watching Rodney Dangerfield, which is a comedian, that's no longer with us, and he was being interviewed. And he was getting such joy from watching that interview that it brought me joy. Me watching him, especially because it was funny, because he was trying to, restrict himself and restrain himself from laughing too loud. Sometimes he would say to me, he's like, I'm sorry. But from acknowledging and saw that joy was so pure, it was kind of a contagious virus, that he made me laugh as well. It made me feel joy just from experiencing his joy. So I was grateful for that moment. He is like somebody that I have no idea who it is. He doesn't know me. I don't know him. But for me, I made a connection with him because something that was bringing him joy, just from witnessing that, was bringing me joy as well. And I posted that on Facebook as one of my things that I was grateful for. So it went from a point where I was just like struggling to coming up with two different things every single day that I could be grateful for, to the point where now I hardly take anything for granted in many situations. But again, I feel I'm still a work in progress. But I feel since I've been doing that, I've been in a realm where all these things that I just automatically think of, it creates those scenarios where it's attracting what I'm feeling, it's attracting what I'm thinking, and it's such a wonderful feeling to have, and I think it's great. So again, it's what you said, the laws before attraction, vibration, any energy. So I feel like I'm around that mist, and I feel like the universe, like you said, it's 24/7, 365 days a year. It's going on all the time. So to be able to tap into that and to benefit from that on a day-to-day basis, it's a wonderful thing. But at the same time, I'm also aware of the times when my mind is, again, is in a place where it's negativity, and it tracks that negativity from others, and I see it happen, and sometimes I catch myself as like, oh, I'm the one responsible for that, you know. So how can I change my energy? How can I change my attitude and my perception to go towards something that I want, as opposed to trying to stay away? Because I think the more I try to stay away from it, the more I attract it.
You can stay away from something that you think about all day long.
Exactly.
It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
So how you do that? I mean, I have a trick that it's not a trick. This is the way I'm working with people. Yeah, and there is a few study that one. I think Deepak Chopra talked about that. He said that we switch what we're thinking about every 6 seconds.
Every 6 seconds, okay.
So when you think about, when you calculate that, how many hours we wake up in a day,
right.
So we came down to between 30 to 60,000 thoughts a day. And most of them is something that we don't want to see in our life. Yeah, this is the reason we switch every 6 seconds what we're thinking about. Yeah, he said if you take one thought and keep it for 15 to 20 seconds, you start to see it in 3D. Whatever you see in 3D, you know exactly what is that, you know how to handle that, you know how to work with that, you know how to can be useful or whatever it is. So what I do, I'm kind of force you, yeah, to spend more time on what you want, which is mean I want you to write down, yeah, your future reality. I want you to write down on paper, yeah, as long as you can, as many details that you can, yeah, and I want you to read it multiple times a day. So what I do, I take something that you think that you don't want to see in your life. Now you read about something that you want to see in your life. Now when you read something, you go into that. Your mind starts to think, how does it look like? Because we think in picture. So when you read what you wrote, yeah, if it's take you 2, 3, 5 minutes to read it, see how many 6 seconds I took that you think about something that you don't want. Now you start to switch. You think about what you want. When you read it multiple times a day, so see how much time I take from what you don't want to hear, when you don't want to see and feel, and something that you want to create. So you kind of force yourself to think about something else. Yeah, and that's create a new habit. When you think about something again and again and again and again, it became reality because you start to live it.
Okay. So, if I hear you correctly, and I love this is really interesting, because you're taking control of something. But the logistics of it, as you said it, you think it, you write it. The important part is about writing it. Writing
Yes.
it and reading it over and over and over again. And that's interesting because, you know, as you said, Deepak Chopra said, you know, every 6 seconds a different thought pops into your head. And it's interesting because in today's society, with the technology and the bombardment of different things that distract people all the time, you know, if you are, you know, some kind of social media or whatever, you see something, you're reading something, and then something else pops up that takes your attention to something else, you know, and that happens all the time. You know, they say people now attention span is much shorter than it was decades ago, and I feel that has something to do with what's going on in society, with everything that's bombarding us, with everything, you know, trying to take away our attention so they could get our attention and our time and so on. So yeah, I think an exercise such as that is it's wonderful for so many different levels, you know, and yeah, I hope that you out there listening would definitely take that opportunity and start that tonight, you know, because I think that's a wonderful tool that you'll be able to utilize to perhaps those things that you probably felt was unattainable, right? That you can finally bring into your life. Yeah, I think that's a wonderful thing, Haim, that I think people could give themselves.
I call it menu.
You call it what?
I call it as a menu.
A menu?
Yes.
Like a menu at a restaurant?
Yes.
MENU, okay.
Yes, and I apply it to any area in your life. And let's say you want to attract the soulmate. You want to attract the person that you want to spend the rest of your life with. You need to know who he is before you meet him. Yeah, which is mean you create a menu. Yeah, and this is the person. I want him this height, I want him this eyes, I want him this skin, I want him have this kind of value. And you go down to detail. Like when you go to a restaurant, they give you the menu. They say, that's what we're serving here. And that's what you're going to get when you place an order. You're not going to ask for chicken and you're going to get fish.
Right.
It's not going to happen. Because in life, we don't have a menu. We ask for fish and we get chicken. And we ask for meat and we get vegetable. Yeah? Why? Because we compromise. When you compromise, you're losing. You take what you get is not what's available. What's available is much more than that.
Right.
When you stop compromising and you go after what you want, you will get that. And you need to have the patience. And for example, I mean, to learn to stand, baby have about over 200 attempts. You can tell baby not to try to stand, he's not going to listen to you.
Right.
He say, you stand, I want to stand also.
Right.
Yeah, and he will try again and again. We as a grown-up, we don't even make one attempt to get what we want. We give up before we start. Very few go after that.
As you were saying, talking about the menu, and I was thinking about, my friend or couples who had that workshop. And Wayne, the husband, he said exactly that. He goes, I know who I want to be my wife. And he described it down to a T. Like you said, the height, she has to be a lighter tone than I am. She needs to be this, do that, be this person and so on. And guess what? He got his wife. And, and then he shared some other, because he did this kind of thing with different family, his kids as well. And, his daughter wanted a type of cell phone, a specific one. And he worked with it and she wrote it down and everything else. And then a scenario happened where this person left their phone by the wall outside their home. And they called the person and said, look, you left your phone here. And she goes, no, we got a new one anyway, so you can keep that one. And the daughter got exactly the type of phone that she wanted, the way it was set up and everything else, because he worked on that exercise with her. And, and then also with his wife, because his wife was a non-believer, didn't really believe that. And she goes, I never win anything. And he started working with her on that as well. And then she started winning all these different little awards for various different things, which she goes, my entire life I have never done that. So it's there's a situation there, a scenario illustrating what you're talking about, which I think it's exciting, especially that we live in a world now that a lot of people feel like, they have the attitude shit happens.
Nothing happened just like that. Let's face it. Yeah. There is simple saying that said, if you want to have something that you didn't have before, you need to do something that you didn't do before.
Right.
There is no secret here.
Right.
It's a matter of taking action on what is that you want. Now, you will get it in the first time? No, nobody promised that. If you get it on the first time, that's great. But it's not promised.
Right.
Yeah. What the promise is the action that you take. Now, when you take action, whatever it is, here is the magic. What happened? You will stop to fail. You will stop to make something wrong. You will stop to make mistake, because you do something toward. Yeah, you're not going to get 100% right from the beginning, from the get-go, right? There is a process, yeah? So I look at that in a different way, which is mean when you, whatever it is that you do, yeah, either it's work or it doesn't work. There is nothing in between.
Right.
Now, if it's working, great, keep doing that. If it doesn't work, let's see what didn't work, because you get some result. Yeah? Now, let's tweak it, let's change it, let's add something, yeah, to make it better. And we keep going and make it better. You fail? No, you didn't. You make mistake? No.
Right.
You do anything wrong? No.
It's a lesson.
You did something that it didn't work. It didn't work the way you imagined that in your eyes,
Right.
of your mind. Let's keep doing that. Or you decide, look, I did it and I realized it's not for me. But that's come from experience. It's not come because somebody told you. And that's what happened with many people. Someone told them, so they give up. How we know? How we can stop you from doing something that you want? I don't get it.
Right. All right, Haim. So for the last few thoughts here, what would you want people to come away from this particular show and this particular topic today?
I will say something like that. Find someone that wants to support you and help you without asking questions. Yeah? And that's what you want. You don't want anybody to give you his opinion, because his opinion, when it's come from, he have no experience. So what kind of opinion did he tell you about? Not to do. Because our mind, the first reaction that he have is to go to safety.
Mm-hmm.
To go to safety is not to do anything. It's safe. Yeah? But the risk is great. The risk is the worst thing that can happen, because imagine that you live up to 90 and you sit on a rocking chair, yeah, and you reflect back on your life. That's the biggest risk that you can have. Because I could do that and I could do this, I could have that, and I can be there, but I didn't do anything.
Biggest regret that you could possibly have.
Right. This is worse than doing and not getting the result that you're looking for.
Well, Haim, thank you again for coming to our show.
I enjoy it.
And sharing your your wisdom here with us and with our viewers. And I just want to take this opportunity to thank you. And till next time, have a good one.